So welcome back, friends. A lot has happened since my last video. The last video was actually recorded in October and many things have happened in between. I'm not going to go into all the gory details, I'm just going to keep it short. Basically I had 4 scans, in and out, people not really telling me, or consultants, and I think because they weren't sure themselves. Ultimately though, when I did get the diagnosis, it wasn't good news. So the news was that I have stage 4 lung cancer. And to say that I was shocked would be a bit of an understatement. I found it really difficult talking to the consultant, and he's given me this information that, you have lung cancer. And I'm saying, well, what's the treatment for that? Basically he said there is no treatment, there's chemotherapy that will slow it down but it won't cure it. So and then there was just a kind of silence in the room, and I think what he was expecting was, we just get up and we walk out now and that's it, we go. And they'd arranged an appointment for the following day with an oncologist, and that this 6 months of chemotherapy would begin as soon as possible. And duly I had the appointment the following day. The oncologist was very nice but very matter of fact, and this is, you just sign here and you're on the programme for 6 months of chemotherapy. I wasn't really keen, and I'm not keen on chemotherapy. No, I'm a lay person, I'm only speaking for myself. I started to ask questions, and based on the answers I was getting back, I did not think that chemotherapy was the route for me to go. They couldn't tell me growth rate, they couldn't tell me when it started. They could tell me that I had 5 lesions, 3 in one lung and 2 in the other, and that they were growing, but they couldn't give me a growth rate. They couldn't give me what type of cancer it was, other than it was stage 4. So there was lots of unanswered questions. However, the way I felt was that they were just going to throw a grenade at it. I was told there's no cure for this, it'll only slow it down. So just be a good boy, take your medication, and I'll see you later on. That's how I felt. I don't imagine that's the reality of it, but that was how I felt. So in this appointment with the oncologist, what I said to him was, I need to think about it. And he said, okay, 2 weeks, we'll meet in 2 weeks. And I agreed to that. And I got home, and about 2 days later I had a letter for 3 or 4 days time to meet him again. So I never had the 2 weeks. But in that time, I did some rapid research, let me tell you, rapid. And I came up with a different solution to chemotherapy. So in the next video, I'll talk about what that was. I'll keep this one very brief. And it's really just, being in that position, being in the position of being told that you have a terminal illness. It's quite a lot to take in, and it's quite a lot to cope with, in a sense. It completely changes everything. Your perspective changes. There is that shock element to it. Even though they were being really cagey about what was happening, they want to tell me what was going on, there's still that element of shock that I've had to deal with. And I will speak more about that, about psychologically how I have navigated that. At times it's not been easy. I have to say it's not been easy. There's been times where I just really want to go under the covers, lie in the bed and pull the cover over my head and just stay there. But I have had moments of that, but I have to say they've been very brief. There's been other things that have kicked in, and I suppose survival mode has kicked in, and looking at, what can I do? And one of the questions I've constantly asked through this process for the last 3 years, when I've met with these professionals, these health professionals, is what can I do for myself? What are the alternatives? And they just don't want to know. Or maybe it's not that they don't want to know, it's just that one of the standard answers I get is, well, we don't have the data on that. You know, I ask about things like exercise, diet, specific types of diet, you know, maybe the Budwig diet or the ketogenic diet. And they, well, we don't have the data on that. We do have some information on exercise. Exercise is good for you. You know, even when I ask about what type of foods to eat, you know, are there any foods to avoid? I asked that right after my operation. And no, just carry on doing what you're doing. And to me, there's a kind of insanity in that. You know, surely if I carry on, keep doing what I was doing, then I'm open to more illness. So I'm looking for change. I'm looking to see what I can do. And that's the journey I've been on in the last 3 years, I suppose. But now I'm up in the ante. I have to up my game a bit. And I've introduced new things to my routine and new ways of working, new ways of doing things. So I'll bring them up in the next video. I'll talk a little bit about what treatment I have decided to use and what methods I've decided to use to try and heal myself from this, and not just accept it as a terminal illness and, you know, just to go home and take my chemotherapy like a good boy. I don't want to do that. Again, please understand, I'm not telling anybody what to do, and I'm not saying that chemotherapy is not for everybody. I don't know enough about it. I just know that in my particular situation, it's not what I have to do at this point in time. Okay, so I will come back. I'll make a video really soon. I'll put it out there. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Have you been in a similar position? Are you going through it? Are you struggling? I'd really love to know. In the meantime, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon in the next video.